What is glass casting? Casting is one of the oldest glassmaking techniques dating back to the 2nd millennium BC. Unlike many ancient techniques, it was never completely lost. Instead, it went through periods of popularity and decline throughout history. There were times when it was used less frequently, but casting always remained part of the glassmaking tradition, being revived and transformed in different periods. So before we dive into its history, let's first answer a simple question. What exactly is glass casting? Casting is one of the techniques used to shape glass. As you know, glass needs to be in a molten state in order to take a form. One way to shape molten glass is by using a mold. In this process, a mold with the desired shape is first created from a material that can withstand high temperatures. Then pieces of glass are placed inside the mold. And by increasing the temperature, the glass melts and fills the entire space inside the mold. After the glass cools down slowly, it is removed from the mold and is ready for polishing and the final finishing process. The earliest cast glass pieces were usually small. They included beads, decorative plaques, pendants, ritual objects, bowls, and such things. There was a practical reason for this. The thicker a piece of glass becomes, the harder it is to cool evenly. The outer surface cools first, while the center stays hot much longer. The temperature difference creates internal stress, and internal stress leads to cracks. Since ancient furnaces offered very little control over heating and cooling, making large cast objects simply wasn't practical. Instead, early craftsmen focused on smaller pieces when the risk of failure was much lower. Even the molds were work of craftsmanship. Every surface had to be carefully carved and polished, because every tiny scratch inside the mold would appear on the finished glass. If the object required decorative patterns, inscriptions, or something else, those details had to be carved directly into the mold itself. This means that even over 3,000 years ago, the quality of a cast glass object depends just as much on the mold maker as it did on the glass maker. Ancient glass makers encountered a problem that artists still struggle with today: air bubbles. Bubbles are still visible in many ancient objects today. In fact, archaeologists often use their size and disruptions to identify how an object was made. Over time, they learned something through experience. If they warmed the mold before casting, their chance of producing a successful object improved dramatically. Early molds were usually carved from a single block of stone that worked well for simple shapes. But as soon as artists wanted deeper carving or more complex forms, a new problem appeared. Once the glass cooled, how could they remove it without breaking either the object or the molds? The solution was multi-part molds. Instead of carving everything into a single piece, craftsmen divided the mold into 2 or sometimes more sections. After the glass cooled, the mold could be opened, allowing the object to be removed safely. Multi-part molds expanded the range of form that glassmaker could produce. Many people assume the hardest part of glass casting is getting the glass hot enough to flow. In reality, experienced artists will often tell you the opposite. Melting the glass is only the beginning. The real challenge begins afterward. As the glass cools, every part of the sculpture must shrink together at nearly the same rate. If one area cools significantly faster than another, internal stress begins to build. Sometimes that stress causes an immediate crack. Sometimes the sculpture survives the kiln. That's why every cast sculpture must go through a carefully controlled process called annealing. During annealing, the glass is held at a specific temperature long enough for internal stresses to relax. Only then can it be cooled very slowly to room temperature. For small pieces, this might take several hours. For large sculptures, it can take days. The larger and thicker the pieces becomes, the more patience the process demands. Thank you so much for watching. This was part 1, so stay tuned for part 2 of this topic and don't forget to subscribe.